Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to discuss interview questions answer asked in the Accenture recently for the position of Power BI developer. Here I would like to say one thing, that here the nothing is wrong and right in the questions answers. Whatever means, if somebody asks me these questions, so what would be my answer? These things I am going to share with you. Yeah, let's get started. Before that, if you do like my channel, then please do like, share and subscribe this channel to get more updated videos on the interview series. Okay, what is the first question? How will you publish the dashboard? So what we do not publish dashboard. We publish report in Power BI service. Then what we do, we create dashboard by pinning important visuals from the report. Then we share that dashboard with the users. We can share the dashboard link through Microsoft Teams or emails, or we can allow permissions through workspaces. Usually we provide a viewer access to the users. Next question is, what is column profiling? Column profiling is basically the statistics, column statistics. So basically it provides additional summary statistics and a bar chart showing the distribution of values in the column. Next question, how will you join two tables with the help of DAX functions? So we know how to join two tables in SQL. We do join in SQL, right? In DAX, what can we do, or how can we do this the same thing? So here two functions are there. One is natural join function, another one natural inner join function, another one is natural left outer join. So using these two DAX functions, we can do the join operations. Next is cross filter. So cross filter helps us decide how data should move between two tables. That means there are two types of relationships, one way and bidirectional. So one way filtering and both way filtering. So in one way filtering, basically the data will move from one table to another one. The reverse is not allowed. But in the bidirectional filtering, the data can move from table A to table B, and similarly it can move from table B to table A. So this is basically bidirectional or both way filtering. Next, suppose you have one scenario based question, that suppose you have two disconnected tables. What DAX functions will you use to get data from another table? So here the function we'll use, that is the lookup value functions. Okay, what is the lookup value functions? When there is no connection between two tables, we go for lookup value functions to get data from two tables, right? Now another follow-up questions comes with these questions most of the time. This is the follow-up questions, the difference between lookup value and related function, because we know that related function is also used to get data from two tables. So when the two tables are connected, that means there is one common column or common attribute, primary key and foreign key relationship is there. That time we can use related functions when two tables are having one common attribute. Based on that common attribute, we can use related function, DAX functions. But in case of no common attribute, in that case we use lookup value function. That means if there is no common column between two tables, then we'll go for lookup value. Now which one is better? Related is more efficient than lookup value. So that's why whenever the common attribute is there between two tables, we should always go for related function, not lookup value function, as related is more efficient than lookup value function. Next, difference between row context and column context. What is row context? If row by row calculations or calculations related to one row at a time are taken into the consideration, then it is row context. Whereas if the calculation on a set of rows are done where the set of rows is not specific and can be changed dynamically depending on the active filters at any point, then we say this is context filter. Which one is preferred, filter or slicer? According to you, which one is good to use? Means performance wise, filter is always better but filter is for developer level implementations. User flexibility is not there. But in case of Slicer, lot of flexibilities are there. Specifically, user can slice and dice their own data as per their choice. Next questions. Difference between dashboard and report. All we know that report is dynamic in nature. User can slice and dice their data on the report. But in the other hand, dashboard is static in nature. Only some key values we pin to the dashboard. That means our dashboard will have only some key values. But another option is available in Power BI that we can also make dashboard dynamic. How is that possible? In Power BI service, one option is there that pin to live. So if you create dashboard by using pin to live, then your dashboard will be dynamic. That means the entire report will be pinned to the dashboard. Whatever is there in your report, the report is dynamic, right? So if the entire report will be pinned to the dashboard, so that dashboard will work as similar to report and it will be dynamic in nature. You want to give permission to 50 users. How will you do that? Actually we do this thing using Azure Active Directory. We create one Azure Active Directory, then we put that 50 users email ID in that Azure Active Directory, then we give permissions to that Active Directory. Suppose someone with contributor role who is not in your team, he can view the data and dashboard. If yes, then what should be done? Actually, that person should be assigned viewer role. How will you join two tables in Power Query? In Power Query, we know that merge queries are there. Merge queries means basically we will do the joining based on some common columns. So that is the thing we do in Power Query. If you want to apply same slicer across all pages, how will you achieve that? All of we know that we do slicer synchronization. One option is there, slicer synchronization. That option should be turned on. What is composite model? A model that combines data from more than one, means different data sources mode will be there. One is direct query, one is import. If combinations of more than one is there, then we say this is composite model. What is import and what is direct query mode? Which one is better? So the import mode is basically where inside our Power BI data model, the data will be copied into that data model. So in this case, performance will be very good, and we can view the data. We can apply every transformations, and we can apply almost all DAX functions. But the disadvantage is if the data size is very large, then it will not support. Import mode will not perform good. So in that case, we should go for direct query if the data volume is very large. Only this is the advantage in direct query. If the data volume is very large, direct query will support. But everything is disadvantage. We cannot do cleaning and transformations. We cannot do all the cleaning and transformations. Mostly cleaning and transformations needs to be done at the source level. That means at the database level. We cannot do it in the Power BI level. And most of the time intelligence DAX functions, especially time intelligence functions, cannot be applied whenever you are connecting with direct query mode. Performance wise, this is very slow. Only advantage is the data size is large, then direct query will work. Now, so considering all pros and cons, import mode is always preferred if the data volume is not very large. How many types of roles in Power BI service and what was your role? 4 roles are there. We know that viewer, contributor, member and administrator. So as a developer, we are having contributors. Sometimes if a senior level of developer, you may have member. Difference between all and remove filters. All and remove filters basically do same work, but one important difference is there, and that difference is lying here within the functionalities. All returns all the rows in a table. So this is the important words here, that all the rows in a table. Okay, so this is the main functionality of all the rows in a table. Okay, all the rows in a table or all the values in a column, ignoring any filter that might have been applied. That means wall will do what? It will ignore all the filters and it will return rows in a table or the values in a column. Wherever remove filters clears all the filters. That means remove filter will ignore all the filters. Okay, so what is all doing? All doing remove means ignoring all the filters or removing all the filters or clearing all the filters, and it is returning rows in a table or values in a column. But remove filter will do remove all the filters, but it cannot return all the rows in a table. It cannot return all the values in a column. Basically, it will return a single value type of thing. If you do one example, then you will be able to see that remove filter won't be able to return any table format or column format. Next questions: what are field parameters? Field parameters in Power BI are basically dynamic filters that allow users to change data at runtime without altering the report design. For example, one column chart is there. Now I want to see that category wise sales, segment wise sales, region wise sales. Okay, so the sales is fixed here. I want to see sales, but sometimes I want to see category wise sales, sometimes I want to see segment wise sales, sometimes I want to see region wise sales. So the category values is changing dynamically. So in this case, we can use case we can implement using field parameters. How will you refresh a single table in Power BI? So in Power BI, this feature is not provided. How we can achieve this thing? That the report first criteria should be that the report has to be published in Power BI service with premium per capacity or premium per user license. So premium license is required for this. Then you have to go to grab XML endpoints from Power BI service. Then we have to go to SSMS, that SQL Service Management Studio. Then we choose server type as analysis service. Then it will show you all the tables. Go to that table and click on the particular table you want to refresh. Then go to Power BI service and refresh the browser. Yeah, that's all for the day. I'll come with another important interview questions answer session in the upcoming series. Bye.